In an hour,
Hello.
it's a new time for St and Greavesy as they look back on the footballing year. St and Greavesy at 12:30.
Like it.
First in Nicam stereo, the best sounds around in the ITV chart show.
Does it get more 1990s than an ITV continuity announcer mentioning Nicam stereo? Those are the days. Right, so welcome back to another chart show reaction. First one of these I've done in probably about 6 months now. And this one is a 1990 special, showcasing all of the best music videos and most popular singles of the year. So not a regular chart show episode, but this and another one I'm hoping to do in a couple of weeks or so. We're about as full an episode as I could find, so we'll get into that in a bit. Let's see what's coming up. The grooviest dance singles of 1990. So we're going to get a top 10 dance chart of the year. Best new act sneak previews for 91, and top 10 indie chart for the year as well. Excellent. So it looks like we're getting 3 specialist charts: indie, dance and rock, I would have thought. Whereas normally on a normal chart show, weekly edition, they'd alternate them. Funniest and worst videos of the year, and the normal 1990 top 10 singles as well. So who of chart show named the best new act? It's Beats International, obviously. I can tell that intro a mile off, with Dub Be Good To Me, of course, Lindy Layton on vocals, and Norman Cook later to be Fatboy Slim behind the scenes. Well, not really behind the scenes, because you see him in the video, I'm sure. That's not him. You'll see him in a minute. I'm sure. There he is. Look, he was there on like bass or something. Right. So thank you for joining me for an ITV chart show reaction. Not many of these to go at really compared to Top of the Pops reactions. There's a lot of Top of the Pops stuff out there that's freely available. So these chart show ones are few and far between. But I found 2. This one and another one that. And I apologise in advance, but there will be cuts, I'm sure, simply because of the length of time when I downloaded the video. You could tell it wasn't the full hour or 40 odd minutes without ad breaks for a normal ITV chart show of the era. But I think as with this and the next one weighing in at around 30 minutes, I thought that was a good length to, to make it worthwhile doing these videos. And although I may have to make more edits myself, hopefully I won't have to make too many, if any at all. So sit along with me, enjoy the ride from a chart show showcasing a year that was, wow, 33 years ago. And now I feel absolutely bloody ancient. Paul Heaton was the winner of the Best New Act last year with The Beautiful South. This year's the turn of fellow band member Norman Cook. Lindy has signed a deal with Arista Records and scored a hit with Janet Kay's track Silly Games. I do remember that, Silly Games, by Lindy Layton. Good song. Don't know if it did particularly well. I don't think it got top 10. It may have done. As you can see, the layout for this reaction is a lot different from the Top of the Pops ones, as this is more of an occasional thing, and for me a chart show reaction is more of a kind of, an easier edit for me, where I feel I don't have to be putting a load of info down on the screen. I mean, the chart show do put a bit of info themselves, as you just saw, with their rather iconic and eye-catching computer graphic style aesthetic of the time. But, so yeah, there's not going to be a ticker bar or anything like that, or a barrage of information like I feel there should be for each time I do a Top of the Pops video. But if there is anything pertinent, or I feel I need to correct myself for whatever reason, I'll put something up on screen somewhere. And here's the top 10 dance chart of 1990. Stevie B with Dirty Cash is at number 10. Like it. Family Stand, Ghetto Heaven at 9. I do remember that. I don't remember liking it particularly. Maybe in spite of myself, I do like You Can't Touch This by MC Hammer, that's at number 8. You'd have thought that'd be higher really, but same with D-Lie. I mean, that was well, there was controversy that year because they reckoned on that D-Lights should have been a joint number 1 with Steve Miller Band Joker, and it was shunted down to number 2. The Brilliant KLF at number 6 with What Time Is Love. Another former number 1 in the official UK singles chart, The Power by Snap. We've just seen them, Beats International, Dub Be Good To Me, at number 4. And then another number 4, Mantronics. So is this like a joint number 4, or have they just made a mistake? Doesn't matter. But Mantronics, Got to Have Your Love. Yeah, I always like this. Mantronics, I think Curtis Mantronic started out in the early to mid 80s as sort of electro DJ, maybe hip hop artist of a fashion, and then was one of the sort of pioneers of house music, getting on towards the mid to late 80s, and then of course this one from 1990 is your sort of standard but good quality house pop of the time. So no complaints here so far. I've had Beats International, we've got Mantronics, and we've seen some good, very brief clips, as obviously when they're counting down the charts on a chart show, you don't see absolutely every video played in full, because that would just take hours and hours. It'd be fun though. Great bass line. Yeah, love it. Curtis adores Indian food. Something we've got in common, sir. Yeah, I'm just enjoying this. I find these chart shows, not like I say, I've only ever done 3 reactions to the chart show before now, anyway. But I always find these sort of more relaxing to do compared to the Top of the Pops one. I do love doing the Top of the Pops reactions, and you know, I really appreciate how popular they are on the channel as well. That's a monthly series, so I'm going to keep going for as long as I can. But it is a lot of work to do the edit, whereas with the chart show and me not feeling I have to put a load of information down, it's more about me sort of just enjoying the music videos more than, you know, talking about performances and stuff like that. Anyway, LFO at number 3 with LFO Early Rave track here. Was this like one of the very first rave singles to ever get in the charts? It probably was, you know. So Hank got number 2, so that must have been a joint number 4, Mantronics and Beats International, but A Damn Skin Killer is at number 1. Surprised they didn't play this actually, because you'd have thought out of the top 10 of the year they would always play the number 1, but maybe they're playing that later for some reason. Sneak preview for 1991 is a long-haired Rick Astley and Cry for Help. You'll be able to see these exclusive videos in full on upcoming shows in January 1991. No, you won't, because I won't be reacting to any of them. I wish I could, but they're not available. Not yet, anyway. Maybe not ever. A sneak preview for 91 is also Do the Bartman by Bart Simpson, of course. Yep. Yeah, that got to number 1 over here. Now, when I say things have got to number 1, I'm referring to the official Gallup UK singles chart that Radio 1 and Top of the Pops used. The one the chart show used, I'm assuming it was like the network chart, or for all I know, they might have even made it up, really. I don't know. Alita Adams, who had a big single here in 91, Get Here. I think she was a backing singer for Tears for Fears shortly before she broke big as a solo artist. I think this might be another specialist chart, indie chart, I would have thought, indie singles of 1990. Let's go! Oh, lovely. Manchester Rave On EP at number 10, Hallelujah, Happy Mondays. Great stuff. And more Happy Mondays at 9. Dominating the indie chart already throughout 1990. Factory's Happy Mondays. Oh yes, brilliant. Loaded, Primal Scream. Some quality in this indie chart already, and we're only 3 songs in. Indian Rope by the Charlatans. Yeah, I quite like this. I wouldn't say it's one of their very finest singles. Oh, no, this is quality. Loving Spiral Carpets, massive fan of them. And This Is How It Feels is one of my very favourite In Spirals tracks. Brilliant. Love that. Love it, love it, love it. Ride and the Ride EP at number 5. Proponents of the shoegaze subgenre. Fool's Gold, where indie rock and acid house meshed and came together. Iconic stuff there from Stone Roses. Another great track here. Really good indie chart, this one. Proves how much good indie music was coming out in 1990. Charlatans again at number 3, sorry. And another great one, cover of I'm Free by Scotland's Soup Dragons. A lot of baggy and Manchester stuff, really. Which, you know, it was the peak year for that scene, really. And speaking of which, number 1 is Step On, which is a cover of He's Gonna Step On You Again by somebody. Maybe I'll put that on screen as to who did the original of this. But 3 Happy Mondays tracks in the top 10, 2 from the Charlatans, 1 from Stone Roses, also with Spiral Carpets. They were part of the Manchester scene. Soup Dragons, although they're from Scotland, they certainly had that baggy sound around that point. So yeah, it's a musical scene and a kind of part of British culture, really, that I've got a lot of fondness and nostalgia for. As I love the music, I love this kind of fashions and the looks, and just brings me back to my childhood, seeing things like this. Happy Mondays, Step On. Yeah, love it. Fantastic. So yeah, 1990 for the indie singles. Yeah, I don't think you can complain at all. Just wondered if I've given the date for this Top of the Pops reaction. I'm worried I haven't now. It was originally broadcast on Saturday the 29th of December 1990. You'll see in the video title the initial broadcast date anyway. So I just suddenly realised I've got my notebook here, and I thought, oh, did I say when this was originally out? So I'm doing it now, like a quarter of an hour late or whatever it is. Sorry. I do these as live and on the flies, you know. So I can't really go back and kind of edit out my silliness. Oh, there we are, look. Originally number 4 hit in May 1971 for John Congos. So thank you, Chart Show. You've saved me from having to put that information up on screen myself. And this was filmed outside Barcelona. Less said about the Monday's trip to Barbados in 1992, the better. Actually, no, go away and look that up after you've watched this, about Happy Mondays in Barbados. It is absolutely crazy. Yeah, fantastic. You can see with a gormless smile on my face, I've got so much love and fond memories of this period of being a music fan, and especially stuff like this. I was really into indie music from, well, pretty much from this year onwards, you know, and getting into dance music as well. So what we got in part 2, we've got Ralph Tresvant. Who did he use? Did he use New Edition him? Probably. Anyway, a break. And we're back. Part 2 of the ITV Chart Show 1990 special. Well, we get a rock chart, as I thought we probably would, as we've had the indie and dance charts for the year. So, looks like John Bon Jovi who I've never been overly keen on, is going to get played. As is Faith No More. And in part 3, there's going to be the 1990 top 10 singles. And we've got the rock top 10 right now. AC/DC, Thunderstruck are at number 10. Okay. Anniversary Waltz Part 1 at number 9, Status Quo. Did this get to number 1? It did well, and the Choir Boys, who I believe are from Newcastle upon Tyne area, at number 7. At number 6, From Out of Nowhere by Faith No More. No, not playing any more of that. John Bon Jovi, not Bon Jovi, but the solo side project, you can't call it side project, from the film of the same name. I think it was Blaze of Glory, some sort of western, weren't it? Choir Boys get 2 entries into the top 10. Hey You, I remember reacting to that on an episode of Top of the Pops, quite like that. Unskinny Bop by Poison. Hair metal still pretty big in 1990. Obviously, you'd have argued that it was dying out by the late 80s, but not in the UK it wasn't. Heart there at number 2. All I Want to Do. What's going to be number 1 in the rock chart? I'm quite intrigued. We don't know because it's been cut. Oh well. We'll just have to imagine, won't we? So this is who the charts have decided was the best solo artist of 1990, Harry Connick Jr. I mean, he did pretty well in the charts in 1990, but he wasn't someone who really had a sustained, successful charting career, not in the UK anyway. I mean, I kind of associate him more with acting. I mean, I remember, although his part wasn't big, he had a very minor role in The Silence of the Lambs, which that would have come out this same year, wouldn't it? 1990. I'm sure he was in an episode of Friends as well. I think he's been in other stuff. I think he was in, like, Will and Grace or something, like, I don't know, something that I didn't watch. But yeah, it's sort of that, got that sort of swing, kind of like a modern Sinatra thing going on, isn't he? I was going to compare him to Michael Bublé, but I think that's a bit insulting to Harry Connick Jr. really. I'm not into this sort of thing, never have been, never will be. But some people like it, don't they? Harry recently performed as guest of honour at Frank Sinatra's birthday party. Well, yeah, that makes sense. Extremely hard on a new movie which released next summer. In it, he co-stars Jodie Foster. That's got to be Silence of the Lambs, isn't it? Yeah, so that 91. Yeah, actually thinking about it, 91 is when it came out, not 90. They make it sound like his role in that's really big, and it's not. It's like, I don't know, almost blink and you'll miss it, really. Yeah, not enjoying this particularly. Swing music's not for me, but your mileage may vary. I don't even know what number this got to in the charts. I thought it might sound a little more familiar to me, but I don't know. Maybe I'll put the chart position on screen earlier on. We get another sneak preview and Sensitivity by Ralph Tresvant. I don't think this did altogether particularly well. The chart show were like that though, weren't they? They play a lot of like new releases and stuff, and they were saying, oh, there's going to be big things from such and such an act, and then they weren't. They're either one-hit wonders or they didn't even have any hits at all. Oh, the worst video of 1990. What's that going to be? There's probably a ton of content. We won't know. Like I said earlier, I do apologise for the edits in here. Nothing I can do about it. But we've just got to enjoy and react to what we've got, really, here. Anyway, part 3 is coming on next with Sinead O'Connor and Madonna. Here we go with part 3 of the 1990 special chart show. And we're going to have the top 10 of 1990 now. The main event, if you will. The fastest chart on television. Never quite sure what that was supposed to mean, but... Adventures of Stevie V again, who also were in the dance top 10. Another one from the dance chart, Snap, The Power, just proves that dance music was really crossing over as mainstream pop music by this point. Naked in the Rain by Blue Pearl. Durga McBroom is the lead singer of Blue Pearl. She, as well as having a nice pair of legs, she was a backing vocalist for Pink Floyd for many years. Maria McKee at number 7. I remember this being number 1 for at least a couple of weeks, probably more. Ah yes, and it's also on a film as well. That'll be Days of Thunder, as I recognise Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman. I remember I didn't like this song when I was young. I mean, I would have been 9. I mean, by the time this particular episode came out, I would have been, 10, because my birthday's in June. But I may have been 9 or nearly 10, or I may have been 10 when this came out. I can't remember the month. But I remember not liking this. But I don't know, I kind of, it's grown on me a little bit as I've got older. Still not my scene ultimately, but as a kind of wuss rock sort of earnest sort of ballad, it's, there's certainly a lot worse. Cruise and Kidman having a snog there. I wonder if Cruise is having to stand on a box or a wooden crate or something because he's about a foot shorter than his ex-wife. Yeah, I don't like Tom Cruise. I find him creepy. I think Days of Thunder was it about NASCARs? NASCAR racing, or some sort of American stock car racing. I've never seen the film, never wanted to. I think the film did alright. I don't think it got brilliant reviews from what I know, but some people may have loved it, I don't know. One of Maria's ambitions is to become a writer, and early days at school, her best friends were Lenny Kravitz and Nicolas Cage. Wow, what a group that would have been to hang out with at school. And she's spending Christmas in Dublin with her 2 rabbits, and that's the band Texas as well. Blimey, she gets about a bit with, celebrity mates, doesn't she, Maria McKee? Sacrifice, of course, that was a number 1 with double A side, Healing Hands. And they're playing this as well. This is another one actually, just like Maria McKee. I never really liked it when it first came out. I mean, it would have been kind of adults, sort of, old farts kind of music, really, this sort of thing for me. And I'll never be a big Elton John fan. Some of his stuff I think is pretty decent, but a lot of it I can just ignore and I don't rate it. But I do think Sacrifice is probably one of his better singles overall in his long career. And ironically, when this was first released, I think the previous year, 1989, it flopped, and then somehow it got a reissue. I don't know if it was used on a TV show or an ad. I don't think it was on an ad. And with the double A-side Healing Hands, it spent about 5 weeks at number 1 upon reissue. Sacrifice. Elton John put an extra syllable or so into sacrifice there. Sacrifice was Elton's first ever solo number 1. It was indeed. He donated all of his royalties for the sales to 4 different AIDS charities. Yeah, he had a previous number 1 with Kiki D back in the late 70s. Don't Go Breaking My Heart, but that's a duet, so can't really call it a solo number 1. Of course, it wouldn't be his last number 1. Fast forward 7 years or so, and he had the biggest single of all time with Candle in the Wind '97, which was another double A side, of course, with Something About the Way You Look Tonight. This sounds like something that it'd suit having a dance remix. I might have a search around, see if I can find a remix of Sacrifice. I think this would work as a sort of cheesy dance track, really. Just thought I'd share that with you. I'm kind of thinking out loud, really, what I'm going to do later. Alright, number 5, and I'm assuming we're going to see this played as well. Yes, we are. Nothing Compares to You by Irish lass Sinead O'Connor. Very, very memorable and iconic video. I mean, as videos go, it's pretty simple. It's mostly this close-up shot of Sinead's face, and then it sort of cuts out to sort of arty sort of pigeons flying around and things, doesn't it? But yeah, for what was a very simple video, I think, you know, this was considered at the time, you know, one of the best videos ever made. Yeah, there we go. There's a statue of somebody. Of course, Nothing Compares to You was written by Prince. I think I did finally hear Prince's version of this not that many years, a couple of years or so back, and I like Prince. It was all right, but I think Sinead's version is superior. Of course, Sinead O'Connor's never been a stranger to controversy, and I think it was probably around this time, maybe the following year actually, 91. She went through the mill somewhat with her actions on Saturday Night Live in America. But I won't go into that now. That's something that you can go ahead and look up yourself. I mean, there's apparently been a really good Sinead O'Connor documentary released. I say, well, no, it's not apparent. There definitely has been, but I haven't seen it because I've not been able to find it to stream it. And apparently, it's an excellent documentary. It's available on Showtime in America, I believe. Hopefully it'll be available somewhere over here at some point, somewhere that I'm able to access anyway, as you know, she's led a fascinating life and I'd like to learn more about it. Nothing Compares to You was written by Prince, as we said. She met him over 3 years ago at one of his parties where she got to meet her hero, Mickey Rourke. Okay. She appeared naked on the front cover of an Irish magazine with her son Jake. Indeed. I say indeed, I never saw it. feel I should know where that video was filmed, actually. Maybe Italy or somewhere in Ireland, I don't know. More of It'll Be Good to Me. Third time we've seen it, or a bit of it. And the second biggest single of 1990 was You Can't Touch This by MC Hammer. But what is number one? I feel like I've seen a clip of them. Oh yeah, I remembered. Yeah. Oh no, I thought it was going to be Madonna. It's not, it's Adamski, Killer. Adamski with Seal on vocals, of course. Was Vogue cut out then from... I'm trying to think where that would have been in the chart. So I don't remember seeing any numbers of the top 10 being skipped, but it doesn't matter. Yeah, Adamski, Vogue... Adamski, Killer even! Oh dear. Oh, I'm glad this is nearly over. My brain's not working right today. Not enough caffeine yet. It's not even that early in the morning, me recording this either. Yeah, massive single. Was number one in their dance chart of 1990 and number one in the overall top 10 singles. I like this. I think I liked it more back then than I do now. It's good. And you know, it's quite a groundbreaking thing. It's then again, it's got that sort of acid house sort of sound to it. Of course, it was a great launch pad for Seal. It was a really big solo artist for much of the 90s. You don't really hear much from him now. I think he's still active as a recording artist. And I suppose Adamski, you don't really hear anything from him anymore either. Whether he's still involved in the music industry or not, I would assume so, but I don't know. Unusual video. Adam made his record debut when he was 11 with his 5-year-old brother, and they went to the name The Stupid Babies, okay? Killer sold over 500,000 records and number one for over 3 weeks, and features the vocal talents of his friend Seal, currently in the charts with Crazy, and yes, Crazy was a big hit. Did that get to number one? I want to say yes, but I'm doubting myself. And what if Madonna's Vogue was maybe voted best video? Yeah. So this is this is why this might clear up the Madonna Vogue confusion for me. No, it's not. It's not. It's Paula Abdul. Actually, this is a very worthy video of the year because of the mix of live action and animation, which I always thought was done really well in this. Maybe 30 odd years on, this may look a little bit dated and they could do a better job, but yeah, I think for its time, 1990, this looked really good. So Paula Abdul, Opposites Attract. I always forget the name of the cartoon cat. Maybe I'll put it on screen if they don't put it up themselves. Big single. I preferred Straight Up by Paula Abdul, which was that 1990. MC Scat Cat, there we are. Once again, chart show of Save Me a Job. Runners up in the category: Beautiful South, George Michael, Billy Joel, and Sinead O'Connor. Also, the name Scat Cat. I'm pretty sure that's been Jason Close's secret nickname for the past 30 years. Bit of an in-joke there. Those who know, know. And those who don't worry about it. I'm just enjoying some toilet humour. So it looks like we might be coming to an end really now. Happy New Year to all of you from the chart show. Yeah, it's the end credits coming on, so this is a good point for me to say my goodbyes. It's been a bit of a haphazard one, this, for me, but I think we've had some fun seeing some of these old video clips from 1990. And as I say, there will be another similar chart show reaction coming along in a couple of weeks or so. I haven't recorded it yet, so I can't say exactly when it's coming out. But I hope you'll join me for that, and for all future chart show reactions, assuming there will be any more after that one. Fingers crossed there will be. But thank you, and until next time, see ya!
The match, live and exclusive on ITV.